100.7 or a super duper evening to you once more. Welcome to another outing where, of course, we always bring you the best from the world of sports. My name is Kachinwa Ogogoke, or they also call me Kachi Sportsman Wesabi. Of course, you check your time now. It's 32 minutes gone past the hour of 6 p.m. And of course, today is Monday, the 27th day on the month of July. Thank God it's Monday. We can only be thanking God for Fridays only. Good evening to you. And of course, as always, I am not doing this alone. I am seated here with Noble, the sports chef. Noble, good evening to you.
Good evening, man. Wesabi. Good evening to those out there listening to the sound of our voice. It's a wonderful Monday, rainy Monday, a cold Monday. I can tell you that, but also I can tell you that we're live on Facebook. You can go onto Facebook. You're going to see us Echo 100.7 FM. That's the Facebook page. Echo FM or Echo 100.7 FM. Go, like, follow us, subscribe. For those that will also go onto YouTube, you get to watch us live as well. You go see, say, man, we sabi, they look tam, it is sharp. Up now. The man who is fair, but not fair. I mean, he's fair at heart. At the end of the day, he's a dark-skinned, good-looking young man, you know.
Yeah, I'm not young. I'm very old like this. So
yeah, very old.
you should know.
Now you talk I'm hearing from the horse's mouth, not me talker.
If you tell me say they young, nah, all the small girls now see me on the road and think I'm young. I'm an old man.
Okay, now you talk him. So you've heard it from me. Young girl, stay clear. He's an old man.
All right, it's time for us to get into the nitty-gritty of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that our hands are full. We're going to bring you, first of all, we'll bring you up to speed with what's happening with Nigeria at the ongoing Commonwealth Games, the position of Nigeria at the table. From there, of course, we'll journey down to other interesting sporting stories. Remember, we also let you know what's up with the AFCON, WAFCON now, that is going on in Morocco. A match is going on at the moment. Tanzania up against South Africa. 0-0 is still in the first half, and both sides are still struggling to find the back of the net. But then, let's begin with what's up, what's going on. An interesting story about the referee that officiated the final of the last World Cup. You would like to know that. All right. Now, let's go on. Nigeria, well, not doing badly at the moment, but the target of the number of goals to be won as
20
was said.
gold medals.
Well, it's still open anyway. Nothing is impossible in life if you believe yourself. Well, let's begin with weightlifting. Nigerian weightlifter, talking about Ruth Young. She produced a very wonderful comeback to win the silver medal in women's 48 kg, the 2026 Commonwealth Games, after she finished third in the snatched with a personal best lift of 75 kg. The lady came back, and of course, she missed her first two clean and jerk attempts at 93 kg, leaving her on the brink of elimination. But guess what? The spirit of Nigeria, the spirit of never say never, helped her fight back. The Nigerian opener opened her campaign confidently by lifting 71 kg on her first snatch attempt before setting a new personal best of 75 kg with her second split. But as it stands, failing her first two clean and jerk attempts at 93 kg, she faced the prospect of crashing out before she bounced back with a successful third and final attempt to seal the podium finisher. Well, it was Chanu who claimed the Indians' first gold or medal at the Glasgow after she win own Young. Now, but then, you know, she was about getting it difficult, but then had to bounce back, and at least a silver medal is not bad.
Well, for the young lady, I'm going to put it that probably stage fright. You understand? Stage fright can come in at various ends, anxiety, and coming into the Commonwealth, it's a grand stage where you have to show your prowess, and then at that particular moment, it seems like what was lacking is not that she didn't have the capability or the capacity to get into her strides, but ultimately she showed that she could get into her strides by getting a personal best and also making a finish on the podium, a podium finish, which is a brilliant one. This is something that the coaches need to work on, because at the moment we are seeing more athletes that they get so close to gold medals, but because of missing out on probably their first tries, their first trial, due to anxiety, due to stage fright or whatever, you can actually see the athlete that was close. It was also going into Paralympics that was very close to winning the gold medal, but going into trying that to be probably he tried to get his get onto the world record in Paralympics, but unfortunately he failed in that try, and then then he was beaten by points to the gold medal. Assuming he had gotten that try, he would have actually set a record in Paralympics at the Commonwealth Games. As well as assured gold medals. In a situation now, it goes down to the trials. The tries and fails, the snatch and grab that they do not actually get. So they need to, the snatch and jerk that they feel, they need to work on this. The coaches need to speak confidence into these athletes. They have the capability, they have the capacity. We are winning silver medals, we are getting into podium finishes. Even trying out for the first time, we see Nigeria participating in swimming competitions, going into the Commonwealth Games. But ultimately, it has been very, very close, and it has been nervy endings for them rather than finishing confidently. They start nervy and they finish nervously. So ultimately, the coaches need to speak into them, get their psyche up, going into the remainder of the games, out of the Commonwealth, and see how many more gold medals that we can achieve.
All right, so for Nigeria, it's not been a bad one in weightlifting as well as para weightlifting. It's not been bad because Nigeria has grabbed 3 golds and 4 silver medals already so far. Now, moving on, 2 of Nigerians are, well, medal prospects, because when we mention this name, definitely you know that they are medal prospects. Talking about Temitope Adesina and Ella Onojuwevo. Both of them have arrived in Glasgow as track and field events begin today, Monday. They are very much available.
And this is where Nigeria can actually shoot for a gold medal as well, because in athletics, Nigeria, they are quite good.
Very good at that. So the 2 US-based athletes, they joined Team Nigeria at the camp. Well, that's at separate times over the weekend. Additional, on her own part, the Nigerian record holder, you know her, in women's high jump. She will be competing at the 2nd Commonwealth Games after making her debut in Birmingham 2022. The 27-year-old, she has been, a doubt for the games due to travel wahala. But then, the concerns are over now, and it was resolved on Saturday. She's back. Additional on her own part, enjoyed an outstanding 2020 NCA. For Onojuwevo, the LSU athlete, she will be making her Commonwealth Game debut and is expected for her to feature in 4x4 women 100-meter relay. She's 21 years of age, and she arrives Glasgow in an excellent form, having posted a season best of 49.47 seconds in women's 400 meters. That's an impressive one.
Impressive, really, for Onojuwevo, as well as looking at Nigeria having more athletes coming through from the NCAA competition. You can see that the National Collegiate competition has actually brought out Nigerian stars. It has helped them hone their skills. You see college athletes, college student athletes doing pretty well. We have the likes of Onojuwevo. We also go through to seeing how things have come through for Nigeria, and definitely their schools will be proud. Their coaches will be proud. And if we can build something, we've been talking about it right here on Echo Sports. If we can build something that we can hold on to, school competitions that we can hold on to and hone the skills, they can compete against those that are coming through, and we can actually see how we can maintain it, because the NCAA is there, and it has been there, and it has continued to produce stars. It has continued to produce that. So at the end of the day, the glory will go back to NCAA. You can see as it is the NCAA star. This is what they have achieved at the NCAA. This is what we are going to achieve. Personal best record for most of these athletes is at the NCAA. They've been pushing themselves, and now you see them at the Commonwealth Games, making an appearance, a debut at the Commonwealth Games. And Onojuwevo definitely will be looking forward to the Olympics that will be coming into 2027, and also going in for those that want to compete in the Winter Olympics, because we are seeing Nigerians as well who are out there, who have competed in bobsleigh when it comes down to Olympic Games. At some point, I won't be surprised if Nigeria actually has an ice skate freestyler, and going into, we see Nigerians doing pretty well. At the end of the day, there's talent. We have talents, and we need to hone these talents. We need to give them a room to actually push this talent for the global world to see.
All right. Okay, so talking about the Commonwealth Games, this is not a good news now. It's unfortunate news, but then what are we going to say? Talking about Israel Okon, he is set to miss the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, and that is due to injury. Okon has confirmed by himself that the setback is possible while he's reflecting on what he has described as 2026, a very stressful 2026. The talented sprinter expressed satisfaction with his performance, having broken 2 major personal milestones by running below 10 seconds in 100 meter and under 20 seconds in 200 meter for the first time in his career. Well, despite this disappointment at missing the games, Okon remained very optimistic and extend his support to his fellow teammates, asking them and urging them to do their best. His absence is a blow to Nigeria's athletics.
Definitely
about that.
a major blow.
It's a big name. Now, talking about the Commonwealth Games, Nigeria's Edidion Joseph Omofia delivered a record-breaking performance to win the men's 71 kg weightlifting gold at the 2026 Commonwealth Games. I know I was going to tell you about the goals because I waited for the last. All right. The Nigerian lifter set up a new Commonwealth Games record. Hear me, sir. He set a new Commonwealth Games. So when Nobu was talking earlier on about, having a conducive environment that where these talents can be honed, where our players our athletes, I beg your pardon, our players can give their best. If this environment is here, the talents are everywhere. Now, this is a record. Nigeria have always done that anyway. The Nigerian lifter, like I said, he has set a Commonwealth game record with a combined total of 319 kg after lifting 147 kg in snatch, another games record, before successfully clearing 172 kg in the clean and jerk to secure the gold. What a move.
A beautiful one for the young man. As also talking about Israel Okon, you participated and you went through the trials and also the trainings, and you get through to the trainings and then find yourself in the competition finally. And ultimately, due to injury, but it all comes down to the industrial hazard that comes into the play for athletes. It's just a hurdle. That's what I'm going to tell Okon. It's just a hurdle. Even the best of the best go through it, and ultimately, it's how you bounce back. You're not judged by the way you fell or at the point you fell, but it's how you bounce back. You go fall down, day for grand. You go fall down, stand up, continue, find yourself back. So Okon has continually shown great sportsmanship as well as being a professional, and definitely it's not just about Okon, it's about the contingents right there in Glasgow, and that is what he stated when it comes down to supporting the team. And then going over to the Nigerian gold medal, we can actually see the Nigeria going into the records. They've managed to get 5 gold medals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and,
you're right. You're
looking at the man who has set the record for himself, going into the fact that he lifted 147 kg in the snatch, and also going on to lift 172 kg in the clean and jerk to secure gold medal. Both competition, both events, he has set a record right there in Commonwealth Games, and that's to show that, just like you stated, we have the talents. We have individuals that have the capacity and capability, but we do not have the facility to hone the enabling environment to hone the skills. Because ultimately, we always find that it's 1 in probably 30, 1 in 50, and ultimately, when one withdraws, it's very difficult to
get another one.
Because when it comes down to the game of football, you actually see a team that continuously look at Spain against Argentina. The players that were brought in continue the same tempo with those that were withdrawn.
It was as if nothing really happened.
Nothing really happened. So it's more of like for like, like for like. Can we actually say that when it comes down to Nigerian athletes? Can we say that when it comes down to Nigerian athletics, when in a situation where we have the likes of Anuj Vevo, in a situation Anuj Vevo, she is out injured. We have someone that can actually fight for a podium finish. In a situation where we don't have the likes of Aruna Kadri, do you have someone that can compete against the Egyptians and the Moroccans of today when it comes down to road of table tennis? This is something I'm talking about. We have just one athlete in okay. Look at the fact that regardless of the injury setback, regardless of where Tobi Amosan finds herself, whenever she comes back to the national trial, she continues to dominate. When she goes into the African trials, she is the name that we know that when she goes up against the other Africans, she would definitely crush them and get the gold medals and help Nigeria progress into international events. In a situation that we do not get a Tobi Amosan available, probably due to injury, just like what was out injured. What happens to Nigerian contingents? Do we have those that can actually qualify Nigeria to fly Nigeria's flag at big major events globally? So this is where we need to look into the drawing board, get the facilities available to hone the skills of the up-and-coming talents, the young talents, and also those that are there already. Because it is one thing to be there to continuously work with. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. You can actually see that we have the talents that continue training with the same facilities and they are not getting a different result in actually probably pushing the likes of Toby Amusan to be better, the likes of the Enekwe of today to be better. But ultimately, we want to get as many gold medals as possible. We can't get a different result if we continue doing the same thing. So we need to upgrade the facilities that we have on ground. We need to actually push in. Look at the coaches also. The coaches should go on to take up more coaching classes. Try to change the tactical approach going into game, because not be only football where they change tactics. You can also change tactics when it comes down to the training regiment for these athletes going into competition.
Of course. Then, of course, at the moment, let's bring you up to speed with the standing. I mean, the table standing. At the moment, Australia are topping the table with a whopping 18 golds.
Massive. 9
silver medals, while Nigeria is still dreaming of 20 golds. Australia already, in a game that just started 3 days ago, they've already amassed 18 golds, 9 silver medals, and 15 bronze medals. That's 42 in all. Well, behind them, in second position is Canada, 6 golds, 6 silver, then 4 bronze medal. You have England in the third position, 5 golds, 10 silver medals, and 6 bronze medals. Nigeria are fourth at the moment with 5 golds and 4 silver medals. No bronze for Nigeria. Okay. Scotland are fifth, 3 golds, 1 silver medal, 8 bronze medals. South Africa sixth with 3 gold medals, 2 silver, 4 bronze. India are the whipping boys of the table. They have just 1 gold, 3 silver medals, and 1 bronze medal. So that's how it is now at the moment. Also, with the ongoing, Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Moving away and going to volleyball. Remember, it's still Echo Sports on Echo FM 100.7, and this is where we bring you the latest from the world of sports, not just football, but anything that has to do with sports. Nigerians men and women volleyball teams, they have done something impressive. First of all, they have qualified for the African Championship, and then apart from the qualification, they have also upped their games by climbing in the world ranking. So Nigerian men and women national volleyball teams have improved their positions in the latest FIVB world rankings following their performances at the 2026 CAVB Zone 3, that's the African Championship Zone 3, held in Abidjan. According to the latest ranking released by International Volleyball Federation, that's FIVB, the Nigerian men team, they've moved up to 52nd in the world, while women team now are ranked 103 globally. The ranking shows the team's result at the regional championship, where Nigeria competed against other West African nations in the CAVB Zone 3 tournament. Well, the improved ranking provided a significant boost for Nigeria volleyball as both teams now continue preparation for the forthcoming continental and international competitions.
Well, for Nigeria, I think that the sky is enough for many birds to fly, but Nigeria continues to dwell on being the flamingos of today, or being the ostriches of today that don't soar as high as possible or don't even fly at all. That is how I'm going to categorize Nigeria, because we have all it takes to actually improve. But each and every day we get to see Nigeria doing brilliantly when it comes down to regional volleyball. But when it comes down to being amongst the best in Africa, we are not there. When it comes through to competing to get their hands into the world title, Nigeria is not there. But every year we continue to see Nigeria. Nigeria is doing beautifully well in the regional games, and Nigeria they are qualified for the African Championship. Then going into the global stage, Nigeria, when last can we actually see that Nigeria got their hands on the, let's say, the Volleyball World Cup, if we are going to target that way? But ultimately, one would actually say that if you're not, if you're seated, you try to crawl. If you're crawling, if you crawl, you try to run. If you walk, you try to run. If you are running, you also try to move. Just make sure that you're moving.
If you're running, you try to fly.
You understand? So it's all about movement, but ultimately, it's more like a secular movement for Nigerian volleyball. It's just like a secular movement for Nigerian volleyball. They continue. They continue 51 in the same vicinity.
100 and something. In the
try as much as possible. Yes, when it comes down to how we've seen Nigeria, it seems like we are recycling the same thing over and over again. We don't want to get out. I keep saying it. You cannot do the same thing and expect different results. So try something different, but positives for Nigerian women going into, but still very far. They never even come out 100. They still, I think, 105, 106 thereabout for Nigerian women. So it's a good news that there's progress. There's progress, but ultimately, it still continues. It hinges upon a circular movement. We move to this point, we grow to this point. At the same time, at some points, we can't get past this. It's more like just a barrier that the Nigerian volleyball cannot get past, and when they get there, it's just that is their limit. They can't break their limits. So, like I said, the sky is very big for everyone to fly comfortably, but Nigeria continues to look at, okay, let's be the ostrich. We're a bird. You understand? We have feathers, but flightless bird, you cannot compete a flightless bird to an eagle. You understand? So it's just a whole lot, but we can give kudos to Nigerian players, the volleyball players. They've done brilliantly well when it comes down to regional games, but I ask and urge them to improve, get the coaches to tactically adapt to the new world changes and the modern world trends, and also look as far as how we can dominate in the continental zone, not just the regional aspect, going into the continental terrain, as well as going into the world view in general.
All right, from volleyball, let's go straight away to the table tennis. Earlier on, you mentioned table tennis. So let's touch table tennis. The stage is now set for the crowning of new singles championships or champions at the 2026 ITTF African Youth Championship, as the tournament reaches its climax on Monday, which is, of course, today. Now, after 7 days of highly qualification competition featuring athletes from about 20 African countries, the continent's finest young table tennis players battle for under 15, under 19 singles honor. Egypt show again their dominance in the team, events, claiming 3 of the 4 titles on offer, while Nigeria successfully defended the under-19 boys team championship. Now, in the under-15 singles, Nigeria's Omar Ayola and Joshua Samson, both of them produced impressive quarterfinals victories to secure semi-final places. Samson recorded a standout result of the round with a commanding 3-0 victory over Uganda's top seed known as Joseph Sabastindira, while Ayola defeated Egypt's seed Ahmed Al-Basak 3-1. Now, interesting news. Beating an Egyptian is okay. Egypt's second seed, Assa Sameh, recovered from losing the opening game to beat Togo's Ganu Abdraman 3-1, while Tunisia's Ami Amri edged Egypt's Mohamed Kobsba 3-2 in closely contested encounter. Sameh and Amorin will contest for the second semi-final. The Nigerian we need to look at the under-19 girls now, singles. That one also produced exciting quarterfinals. Nigeria's Aishat Rabiu advanced with a 3-1 victory over Algeria's Asil Sari to set up semi-final showdown against Tunisia's top seed Ella Saidi, who defeated Egypt's Dalela Magoud by same margin. Now, in other semi-finals, Egypt's Malik Zaki progressed with a convincing 3-0 win over Tunisia's Eli Abbasi, while Uganda's Patience Ayong battled past Nigeria's Aziz Sezuo 3-2. Now, moving to the under-19 for the girls event, Uganda's Jamie Nakwala remains one of the tournament's biggest stories after she eliminated Egypt's top seed, Yari Al-Badwi, with a dominant 4-1 victory in the round of 16. Helped by the upset, Nakwala believes she has what it takes now to capture the continental title. After all, when you win the best, you should be expecting to be known as the best.
And ultimately, it also brings pressure upon yourself. You be the best, everyone wants to speak to you. Okay, since you be the best, definitely the trophy is yours.
Eyes on you.
So the trophy is yours. So that's where you have to. That should be where you look at how things have come through for the Ugandan. Also looking at the under-19 girls, Tony, and you can see how Vivat is doing. She's doing a great job for herself, but she needs to let go and understand that she won't let complacency set in. And then for Nigeria's Aishat and also looking at Ayola, these are two of Nigeria's heavyweights when it comes down to the youth category in the world of table tennis. And also looking at the ITTF Junior Championships that is ongoing. It seems like the battle is between the West Africans against the North Africans, but ultimately it has always been Nigeria against Egypt, Nigeria against Egypt. You can see Arna Kadri and also looking at Hassan of Egypt, and also seeing how they've been back and forth in who is the top seed in Nigeria to first, second in Africa. Thank you for that. And ultimately, we've seen the likes of Uganda trying to creep in certain categories, as well as Tunisia. We can see that it's going to be a strong tie for Nigeria, I believe, in the under 18 girls category, where Nigeria will come up against a Tunisian after the Tunisian beat an Egyptian. So the Egyptian has been let go out of that, but still a North African in that particular belt for Nigeria to come up against. Quarterfinal events here and there, just 2 more games and you get into the final. So there has been near misses. A couple of Nigerians have actually had their hits and miss, and ultimately this shouldn't be a setback for you. Just take it as an upward trajectory that next one you have to do better. And also looking at Yola has always been the one who has talking up that should be the under 15 category, and at some point definitely he can try to see if he can replicate and move better, because the competition that you see today, the opponents that you see today, at some point you're going to meet them as you are growing, they're also growing, and they are elevating, going to the next stage. So let it not be that you're a young sensation, a teenage sensation, and then when it comes down to turning professional, it becomes an issue. So also, we need to improve this. We need to improve the tennis game for Nigeria, where we can actually have, because I keep saying this. At some point, a tennis professional, a tennis analyst looked at Nigerians' games and stated that how things are going for Nigeria. You can see the likes of Aaron Akadri coming up against the 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds
at international level,
professional international level. You understand? And they beat him. So we can also try to push Nigerian athletes, the younger ones, the younger generation, that it's just about the younger competition. Yes, you might compete at the youth level, but also let's try to test their metals going up to going into level. International events, if we can push them, because they may get him when he share board. The 17-year-olds coming up against Kadri, they don't have 2 heads. The 18-year-olds, they don't have 2 heads. So if you can push it, because by the time you push it and then they get to that particular probably 25, 26, you can see that they're already kings of Africa and also pushing for the best laurels globally. You see Aaron Akadri going to China, see him going to Singapore, going to Malaysia, even coming back home here in Africa. He's drilling brilliantly well, but ultimately it's just about starting. Catch them young. Yes, we can see Ayola doing well. We can see the Aishats doing well. Bello at some point, I think there's a Bello also doing well. So ultimately, it's all about what is the structure, like the training regiment, and also what are we anticipating for the future for Nigerian table tennis.
What are we expecting? It is when preparation meets opportunity that you talk about success. We got to prepare. All right, let's not forget to let you know that what we told you earlier on about African Volleyball Championship. Nigeria, both male and female, have qualified for the Continental Championship, and that will be happening. Of course, for the men team, the championship will be taking place in Kenya. For the women, it is going to be happening in DR Congo. All right, moving now to football. Silico Sports on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Flying Eagles of Nigeria head coach Moses Abdu Maikaba, I beg your pardon. He has unveiled, he's reviewed his squad for the 2026 WAFUB U20 Championship. That is going to take place in Côte d'Ivoire. The Nigerian under-20 team will begin their campaign against arch rivals Ghana, because I also have Ghana in the news. They are also ready on Monday, and that is going to be today. Ladies and gentlemen.
That match has actually come through.
Actually come through.
It come through, and the game ended 4-2.
To the advantage
of the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Yeah. So they started, they've done amazingly well against their next door neighbors.
Now, it is no longer about the rice. We have conquered the rice debate. I mean, the jollof rice. Now, we've also conquered the football debate.
You're not taking us to a different aspect, because many people come and start asking me, nobody sports chef, how do we do that in the kitchen? In the sports kitchen, you can see the Nigeria Hashigazi, you understand? Hashiga Ghana.
yeah. It's interesting to let you know, of course, that the game has come, and it let us know that. And then, very impressive outline the team he has. You know, when we were talking about when Maikaba came to, but I would say he's a man that knows the Nigerian football.
Yeah, from under 17 going over to under 20.
Has also coached a couple of clubs in the Nigerian
NPFL,
league.
yes.
So I'm happy with the kind of team he has selected, and look at the way they have started. Very impressive.
Very impressive. A couple of them coming up from NPFL academies, and then one or two coming in from abroad. So you can see